All right, Thursday, going to be a big day, Padres opening day, and then the Aztecs Sweet 16 matchup, San Diego State and UConn. Obviously, that was the matchup of last year's national championship game. San Diego State, I think some would say, okay, this is their shot at redemption. But it's not really their shot at redemption. Like, if they beat UConn, that will be amazing. On to the Elite Eight. I will be super happy, especially if the Padres win as well. That would be an amazing day. But you can't redeem yourself. I mean, it was losing the national championship game to UConn. Like, this is not the national championship. If it was equal like that, then yeah, sure. Now, last year still, UConn should have won. Like, they're the bigger team. They play in the Big East. They have NBA talent. I'm not saying the Aztecs didn't. They obviously did. But, like, they were expected to win that game, and they should have won that game. And UConn should win this game, but I'm not counting out San Diego State when they have LeDee, who showed out yet again tonight against Yale. This is a game that San Diego State should have won, though. But I'm still going to give props to LeDee. Another great game from him. A great game from Trammell. Lamont Butler continues to play great defense. Miles Bird was 3 for 3 at one point from three. I mean, just automatic there from beyond the arc. Trammell, the Gonzaga game on the road earlier this year where he had that big game, that reminded me of that. Tonight's performance reminded me of that. I mean, it just felt like you couldn't really stop him. There was that corner three where he was fouled and still made it. Just an impressive night from him, an impressive night overall. I was waiting. I think a lot of Aztecs fans were probably like, don't get too comfortable. They got off to a 10-0 start. Don't get too comfortable. They're going to allow Yale to get back in this because they've been doing that like all season long against teams. If they get out to an advantage and it looks like, cruise control, that's the problem. But they kept it on the gas and they were up by 30. It just wasn't close. It seemed like the game was over at halftime. LeDee almost had as many points as Yale had in the first half, just him. So that's like the difference. Sure, I'd love to have Nathan Mensah on this team, but if you look at some differences between last year and this year, I mean, UConn doesn't have Sanogo, but UConn, they had a blowout win today against Northwestern. Really talented team. Like, UConn is expected to win this game. They're expected to beat every team that they play the remainder of this year. Like, they're a great program, no doubt. But LeDee was not in as big of a role as he is now for this Aztecs team. And if the Aztecs can get hot shooting-wise, then they have a chance to beat UConn. Definitely. I don't think it's redemption, though. I mean, because if they win this game, it'll just be like them beating Alabama last year. I know UConn is probably a better team than Alabama last year. But my point, obviously, is you're just going to the Elite Eight. You didn't win a national championship by winning this game against UConn. Now, if we're going to talk about like the players feeling great after beating UConn, sure, yeah, maybe they feel a little bit of redemption if they can get that win on Thursday night. But this is like I said earlier, it's not a national title game. So I don't really buy the whole redemption. I mean, you can't really redeem yourself. You lost the title game. And it's crushing. But I think when you took a step back, you realized how special of a season as it was. And I think regardless of what happens on Thursday, I think we're going to step back and be like, you know what? This was a pretty darn special season. Sure, was it frustrating at times? Yeah. Do I want it to continue past Thursday night? Yeah. But with the NBA talent, and not even just NBA talent like Mensah, that ends up obviously not being eligible to continue in that program anymore. But Keyshawn Johnson goes to Arizona, having to bring in a lot of new guys and then meshing and taking some time like that. And they don't win the Mountain West regular season title. And then they don't win the Mountain West tournament in Vegas. New Mexico wins that. To battle like that, and then this year, you're back in the Sweet 16. I think it just continues to show how great of a program, and us Aztecs fans, we know this, but it just shows the country how great of a program San Diego State has built and how great of a program San Diego State is. Like, sure, there was talent from last year's team that is on this year's team for sure. But those were some big pieces that were not on this team this year, are not on this team this year, that were on it last year and were huge pieces to why they got as far as they did, and they're not on it. And so San Diego State has had to make up for that. And, got to give credit to Jay and LeDee, give credit to this coaching staff, give credit to guys like Jay Powell, who've had some pretty big moments this year. Some other guys, Miles Bird at times, like stepping up. Give credit all around. And so I'm looking forward to Thursday, obviously. Home opener for the Padres. Season opener for the Giants, obviously, coming into Petco. And then this Aztecs game. Imagine if they win. Now, it could be a sucky day. The Padres lose to the Giants, and then San Diego State loses to UConn. That would be a bummer. But let's think positive. If they beat the Giants, home opener, San Diego is going to be rocking, and then everyone goes into bars and whatever, and San Diego State upsets UConn. San Diego is going to be the place to be on Thursday night. Aztecs fans, give your thoughts in the comments. What are you thinking about going into Thursday? Do you like the Aztecs' chances? I'm sure that all Aztecs fans love the performance tonight. How they, like I said earlier, they just kept the foot on the gas pedal.